Central Arizona, a panorama of beauty that has attracted worldwide acclaim. One of the most photographed areas in the United States, the forces of nature working over the centuries have created a mountain desert vista of timeless beauty. While the desert prevails in most places, Canyon Lake offers a change of pace, as does the Tonto National Forest. The legendary Lost Dutchman gold mine in the nearby Superstition Mountains is still lost, but at least one enterprise has found gold in the story. Hello everybody, I'm Dave McClelland and welcome to Central Arizona. The fast-growing city of Phoenix lies at the base of this mountain, along with the communities of Scottsdale and Tempe, along with Arizona State University. Just south of here is Firebird Raceway, home this weekend to the Castrol GTX Fall Nationals. During this past season on USA Sports, we have seen a strong rivalry develop in each of the professional categories of drag racing. For the details on that story, here's Steve Evans.
Dave, those three rivalries each have their own personality. The most intense has got to be in Top Fuel between this man, Don Garlits, and young Darrell Gwynn from Miami, Florida. When Gwynn first started winning races this year, Big Daddy would kind of lurk in the staging lanes during qualifying to make sure that he always ran alongside Darrell, keeping constant pressure on him. But as soon as Gwynn started pounding the record book, it was he who was doing the lurking in the lanes. But still, if the two get together in a final round, like we saw at Indy and again at Dallas, it's Big Daddy's experience that pulls him through. In Funny Car, it's far friendlier. Kenny Bernstein and Mark Oswald usually try to pit right next to each other to share some good food, good humor, and everything but Kenny Bernstein's speed secrets. In Pro Stock, well, Bob Glidden and Warren Johnson try to pretend that the other doesn't even exist, except on that points page in National Dragster for the World Championship. And that's what the three rivalries do have in common. Out of them will come this season's professional world champions.
And here is 25-year-old Darrell Gwynn, the young man that has absolutely obliterated the record book in Top Fuel dragster racing. You saw it happen right here on USA Sports when Darrell Gwynn established the elapsed time record at 5.26 seconds at a speed over 278 miles an hour just a couple of weeks ago in Dallas, Texas. He is racing against a Texan, Eddie Hill, who in the first round defeated Hank Endres, the low qualifier. Meantime, Darrell Gwynn defeated the former NFL quarterback Dan Pastorini in his first round matchup. On the starting line in this second round, Gwynn has got to be considered the favorite. He has taken the lane nearest the camera. A lot of drivers are having some problems getting their cars down the racetrack in a competitive style. The racing surface here not quite as smooth as we have seen on other tracks, such as the brand new facility in Dallas, but it is still important to try to get the lane choice, to have the lower elapsed time of the two cars so you get to choose the lane that you race in. Darrell Gwynn has taken the lane nearest the camera, Eddie Hill in the far lane. We're in round number 2 of the Castrol GTX Fall Nationals. Both drivers coming into the staging beam. It's a good start, and Hill has the advantage, but look at Gwynn's horsepower. At the finish line, Darrell Gwynn wins the race. His elapsed time, 5.50 seconds. His speed over 252 miles an hour. The 1986 NHRA Fall Nationals is being brought to you by Castrol, the motor oil engineered for today's smaller cars, and by Goodyear. Goodyear Eagles. You either have Goodyear Eagles or you need them. And by Fram Bendix Autolite, which are all quality products of Allied Automotive. And by Budweiser. For all you do, this Bud's for you. More action on tap at the Castrol GTX Fall Nationals. Big Daddy Don Garlits coming up next. Firebird Raceway near Phoenix, Arizona, the Castrol GTX Fall Nationals. We're in round number 2 of Top Fuel Racing. Big Daddy Don Garlits out of Ocala, Florida, sporting a new supercharger on top of that engine. He, like many racers here today, have been trying to find the combination to make it down this racetrack in winning times. Garlits had problems in qualifying. He's trying a new supercharger combination, hoping it will pay off in this race against Larry Minor. Nationally known in agribusiness, Minor has one of the largest potato farming operations in the country. In round number 1, he defeated Gene Snow. Meantime, Don Garlits beat Harley Langlow in his first round race. As the two cars complete their burnout, Garlitz, with the lane choice, selects the far lane, while Miner is in the near lane. We saw just a moment ago, Gwynn took the near lane when he had the choice. Obviously, the lanes seem to be equal at the moment. A head start for Garlitz, and look at Miner come on. Tremendous horsepower for Miner, and a brilliant upset by Larry Miner. 5.49 seconds and only 199 miles an hour. He tries to bring the car to a halt on the racetrack, and there goes Garlitz past him into the run-out area, out into the desert here at Firebird Raceway. The track itself continuing on into the desert, and they bring the cars to a stop on the sand. As we look at it again, you can see the advantage off the starting line went to Garlitz, but the horsepower advantage was decidedly in the Larry Miner camp. Halfway down the track, the tires are smoking. That indicates they're slipping. But look at him just drive away from Don Garlitz. And by over a car length, wins the race. Larry Miner upsetting Don Garlitz in the second round of Top Fuel competition. But as he tries to bring the car to a stop, the huge rear tires act like rubber balls, bouncing the rear end off the ground, and Miner quickly runs out of asphalt and heads out into the desert. Then here comes Don Garlitz. He's traveling at speed with the parachute deployed, the sand kicking up behind those rear slicks, but Don Garlitz brings the car to a safe stop, avoiding the lake that was created out in the middle of the desert with some heavy rains that we've had for the last couple of days.
Well, when you see tires blistered like this, you know that they're smoking all the way down the racetrack. But still, for Larry Miner, a 5.49, a tremendous effort.
Well, I think that ET is excellent for what the car did. You can see the tires just smoked all the way through, so it was a good run, and I really like racing the old man.
There were people who didn't think there was a 5.49 in this racetrack.
Oh, there's a 5.49 out here. It's just, you know, you got to get the combination right.
Steve, he certainly had that combination, and here's the man that hopes he's found it. This is Joe Amato. In the first round of racing, Joe Amato out of Old Forge, Pennsylvania, beat John Kerry. He should be racing Earl Whiting in this round, who beat Russ Collins in round number 1. But Whiting experienced some serious engine problems on his burnout. He made it all the way through the race course to the turnoff right past the finish line, and at that point, the engine dumped a lot of oil. Fortunately, it stayed off the racetrack. Thus, Joe Amato gets a bye run. Will he leg it all the way through to set a good elapsed time? Smoking the tires as Miner did, and Joe Amato goes a 5.54 seconds, 260 miles an hour. He obviously was aiming for lane choice in the next round. Back in the pit area, in Billy Meyer's funny car pit area, they're doing a lot of work on the engine. He had some engine problems in round number 1 when he defeated John Force. Working on that car is Gary Beck. He was the former team driver for Larry Miner in a Top Fuel dragster, out of a ride starting at this race, and word has it he may be moving into the cockpit of a Top Fuel car from Billy Meyer's camp next season. This is the streamliner of Gary Ormsby. Debuting at the start of this season with this ultra-sleek machine, Ormsby has got his performance down into the mid-550 bracket with speeds well over 265 miles an hour, but he's taking on Dick LaHaye, and that is a challenge in itself. Dick LaHaye and his daughter Kim, a family operation, Kim serving as crew chief on this car. She tuned it to the point that it carried Dick LaHaye to the winner's circle at the Keystone Nationals. In round number 1, LaHaye defeated Connie Coletta, while Gary Ormsby beat Sue Ransom, a young lady who hopes to follow in the footsteps of 3-time world champion Shirley Muldowney, who elected not to compete at this Castrol GTX Fall Nationals. Dick LaHaye chose the near lane, Gary Ormsby in the far lane. The streamliner of Ormsby against the more conventional style car of LaHaye. Both drivers stage, and LaHaye just pulls away from Ormsby right from the starting line. And at the finish, Dick LaHaye, 5.54 seconds, speed of 251 miles an hour. That sets up the semifinals in Top Fuel racing. Dick LaHaye will go against Larry Miner. Miner having lane choice by virtue of the brilliant 5.49 elapsed time. Darrell Gwynn, the national record holder, goes against former world champion Joe Amato. Gwynn having lane choice. It's time now for those 270-mile-an-hour funny cars. This is the reigning world champion, Kenny Bernstein, hot on the pursuit of a back-to-back world championship title. He could lock it up at this event. Here in the second round, he is racing against Tom McEwen. Let's go to Steve with Joe Amato.
Now, the first thing you did was take a towel out of your driving suit and cover up the bell housing. Are we dealing with another Bernstein-like crying towel here?
That's an Amato towel.
An Amato towel? What's under it?
We've got some stuff done to the clutch that we want to keep a secret for the temporary time anyway. You know, it's something new, and, you know, a couple other teams have it, but we paid the money to engineer it, so we don't want to let everybody just come right up and steal it away from us right away. You know, I'm sure everybody will know what's going on eventually, but in this sport, it's so competitive. If you come up with any kind of an idea and you want to innovate and stay ahead of the pack, you have to keep your stuff a secret for yourself.
When you decide to reveal it, could I see it first?
Yeah, I'll let you see it once everybody knows what's going on. Now, that's a promise.
Thanks, Joe.
Steve out on the racetrack is the man that designed the use of a towel to hide secret parts. Kenny Bernstein's got parts on that car that people still don't know what they do. Here's the longtime veteran Tom McEwen, winner of 2 races thus far this season. In round number 1, he defeated Chris Lane, while Kenny Bernstein beat his longtime Texas rival, Raymond Beadle, driving the Blue Max. Bernstein once again dominating the competition as he did a year ago when he won 6 national event titles, while Tom McEwen, after 30 years of drag racing, is enjoying his best season ever, winning 2 national titles thus far this year. And it's a great race, but look at Bernstein pull away by several car lengths at the finish line. Bernstein wins it. His elapsed time, 5.64 seconds. That moves him to the semifinals. He could lock up the world championship in the next race. Here's a man that's still in the top fuel world points chase, 25-year-old Darrell Gwynn. He's relaxing, looking on as his crew prepares that dragster for the semifinal round of racing. Not many secrets here. They're working on the engine. Everything's exposed, and down there's the clutch as they make the adjustments necessary. So Darrell Gwynn not hiding any particular speed secrets. He's just got a tremendous amount of horsepower. On the starting line, you can hear in the background the nitro-burning engines that power these funny cars, as it did Billy Meyer's car to low a lap time in qualifying. Meyer is the builder, owner of that fabulous new racing complex known as the Texas Motorplex just outside of Dallas. We were there for the Chief Nationals just a few weeks ago. He is racing against Jim Head, a former U.S. Nationals champion noted for conservative operation of his funny car. Head defeated Jim Murphy in the first round, while Billy Meyer took the win over John Ford. But that was a costly win as some engine problems set in for Billy Meyer. They've done lots of work on the car. The question is, will it perform up to par against Jim Head? The staging completed. A green light, and Meyer's out in front, but Head stays alongside. And some more engine problems for Billy Meyer, and Head squeaks by for the win at 5.90 seconds, 247 miles an hour. Let's go to the pits. Steve Evans with Don Garland.
Don, I know it's of little consolation, but it took the best time of the event to get you out.
Was that low ET?
5:49 by minor.
Well, it wouldn't have taken that much. I only run 5.64, but it was a good run for Larry. He made a nice run.
You made a supercharger change.
Who, me?
Yeah.
Yeah, we blew our good one up last night, you know, the one that we would have liked to have run the event. When it backfired, it got it. And we put another one on that was supposedly just like it, but it wasn't near the supercharger that we had.
It opens the door a little bit maybe for Darrell Gwynn if he can win this and go into Pomona strong?
Well, the way I've got it figured, the way I added it up a few minutes ago, he's got to win here, and he really needs top time or low ET, which is a good possibility. Then he's got to go to Pomona and get top time or low ET, and then I've got to get beat in the first round. If I win the first round and go to the second round, there's no possible way.
You will come to Pomona loaded for bear.
Sure, I'll go over there, naturally.
Steve, you can bet on that. They're not resting on their laurels in the Larry Minor pit area. He's got to race Dick LaHaye in the semifinals, and that could be a tough one. We've got more funny car action coming up next at the Castrol GTX Fall Nationals.